Hey besties, welcome to today's video. Today I am coloring from the Girls' Day Self-Love Coloring Book by Vivi Tinta. So I've been coloring this one in order, and today's page is the brushing teeth page. So let's get right into it. First, I'm showing you the markers that I use. I use a Cali Art. You can find them on Amazon. They're brush tip alcohol markers. I love them. So first up, I am using G702. So this page is an inspired by page, and my inspiration was the Lilo and Stitch movie. So I'm just using this green for the wall. So I do the characters as Lilo and Stitch, and then for the rest of the bathroom, I wanted a very Hawaiian, beachy theme. I made the bathroom more cohesive, but the characters don't really match the theme. Like they stand out very much, even in the movie. Like it's not really cohesive. So I did the best I could to make it look aesthetically pleasing. But yeah. So B502 I use for these tiles. I use another lighter blue as well, and I alternate, but I use this darker one for the trim. I've heard mixed reviews on the movie. Let me know if I should see the live action version. I love the original, but let me know if it's worth it seeing the live action. Here I am coloring the tiles and giving you a nice view of my hand. It's like sometimes I forget that I'm even filming and I'm just like zoned in. But I try my best to get the best angles. But yeah, here I am just filling in the tiles, and along with the wall, I go back in later with details to make it look a little bit more beachy, but I'll show you that later. I was a little stumped on what color to color the sink because most sinks are white. So I just used WG00 as the color for the sink. I don't love the way that it turned out, but it is what it is. And I go over the little part and then I go over it again to create a little shadow just to make it a little bit darker, like as if there's a hole there. I'm sorry, my voice is a little scratchy and a little nasally. I'm not feeling that bad, but I think it's just allergies. Now I'm using WG03 as the faucet hardware. I also use it for the hooks on the wall, as you'll see here. I've yet to find the perfect like silver color for like metals in my pictures, so let me know if you have a recommendation on a specific marker. I'm thinking maybe like the Sharpie metallic, but I don't know if that would look too shiny. I don't know. So now I'm working on Stitch, and I'm taking a black marker and I'm just drawing out his eyes, and then I'm gonna let it dry and then come back and work on him some more. Then I'm taking Y811 for Lilo's skin tone. And I'm not so talented to like redo, the whole page. So this is just like inspired by it. So you'll see as I do like her hair and whatnot. And I keep the ears. Like I don't really transform the character into Lilo. It's just inspired by. I would love some suggestions in the comments of an inspired by page that you would like for me to do. Of course, it would have to fit like with a page or whatnot, but I am so into doing inspired pages right now. So here I'm just finishing up. I color the ears just all the same color, and then I move on to the pajama set. So I use two different colors inspired by her dress. So you'll see here I use a red color and a gray. So NG02 and R107. So I'm using red for the main parts, and then I'm going to use the gray for the accents on the pajamas. I was trying to use like the color of the leaves on her dress, but I think this gray is a little bit darker, but you kind of get the gist of it. Okay, so now moving back to Stitch using V203. This is for like the lighter part of his body. So I just go around the eyes, and you'll see I go on his belly and just start creating the character. If you love Lilo and Stitch, go to Five Below because they have so many products. So many. I'm sure other places do too. But they have so many, and they're cute and less expensive than some other places. Yeah. So now I'm using a darker blue for the ears, and will also use that for the body. I'm using R802 for the headband. I know in some pictures, the inside of his ears are like pink and then some are like purple. So I just did a light purple because I thought that would fit better. And now I'm working on her eye mask. I'll just do the lashes black and then I do the rest of the eye mask in the same color as the pajamas. Now going back to Stitch and coloring the outside portion of his body using that same blue I used for the ears. And here you can see I'm going on the outside first, and I kind of messed up bringing the color into the lighter. Either I should have let it dry more, or maybe I shouldn't have gotten as close to it. Because you'll see it makes like a little bit of, it doesn't blend well because either you have to do it when it's wet and then blend it out, or wait for it to dry. And I don't think it was all the way dry, but it's okay because I kind of fix it in the end. But here he is coming to life, and I just think he is so cute. Moving on to the shelves, I am using Y623. So I use this brown as like a wood base. I thought wood would go really well into like the beachy theme. So I use this one and then I go back and I think I use a pencil and draw the grains of the wood. And I really liked how it turned out. Very subtle, but just a nice touch to the beachy theme. I'm still very new to coloring, so learning different techniques and everything has been really fun, but it's not perfect. So just hang in there with me. Now I'm using that same gray I used for the faucet for the hooks on the shelf. And then I'm using the same color that I used for her skin tone for the back of the shelves that are hanging. I tried my best to make it a little bit more cohesive as far as using like the same color, just because the characters kind of stand out. I like it to look like a color palette most of the time. It's a little bit harder when you're doing a themed look. Yeah. So here I'm using that darker blue that I used for the tiles as a towel. And so you'll just see I'm using different colors throughout the page. I use a yellow that I think I'm about to show soon for the loofah, and that yellow is Y102. So I use that for the loofah, and then you'll see I use it for other little parts as well, and I'll use like the purple. So every color that you see me using from here on out, I've already used. It's just somewhere else on the page. So now that I have the whole base page done, I'm going back in for details. Here I'm using colored pencils to draw palm trees on the wall. This was my first time using colored pencils on top of markers, and I think they worked nicely. I wanted a softer look than using more alcohol markers, or sometimes I'll use acrylic markers. But again, I just kind of wanted a softer look, so that's why I'm using the colored pencils. So I draw palm trees on the wall, and then I also draw seashells on the tiles, which you'll see soon. I don't think it's shown me actually drawing them, but so here I'm doing her hair, and I was a little conflicted on what to do with that, but I think it turned out cute, and I just left the ears because I didn't know if I was going to totally erase the ears or not. So then I'm using a colorless blender for Stitch just to make him look furry, and I also did that on the loofah as well. And then I gave Lilo some freckles, and here I'm giving Stitch his claws and trying to make his mouth look more open. And now I'm just adding shadows and highlights, like the details towards the end. I love a good shadow and highlight moment. I think it really makes the page pop. For my first inspired by, I think it turned out really cute. Again, let me know if you have any suggestions, ideas that you want me to do next. I hope you enjoyed watching. Please make sure to follow and like and stay tuned for the next one. Thank you.